Last night, a California man opened fire outside the Pentagon right here in Washington, D.C., and today he's been linked to the 9/11 Truther movement, a movement that rejects the official explanation of 9/11. Joining me now from our New York studio is Rudkowski. He's the founder of a 9/11 Truther group himself, and he's going to talk about what this means. Now, Luke, today the media is talking about how this shooter had a history of anti-government writing on the internet, and that includes posts about how 9/11 was a government conspiracy. Now, your group, We Are Change, is founded on a similar belief that the truth behind 9/11 hasn't been revealed. What do you think this shooter is going to do to your cause?
I mean, first of all, our organization denounces any violence or criminal acts that are committed. We follow the principles of Gandhi and Martin Luther King. Now, before this, we have been saying that with the Southern Poverty Law Center coming out with their report, that there would be something of an incident to kind of go against all of the 9/11 Truth movement, all of the patriots who are questioning their government, and this smells and sounds like something like that would happen. But again, our organization, again, is founded on principles of nonviolence, peaceful resistance. We feed the homeless here in New York City. We do clothing drives for underprivileged kids. We raise money for sick and dying 9/11 first responders, and we ask questions and demand answers, questions that are uncomfortable for this government, and that's why they're doing these reports, and that's why similar activities are happening today.
So do you think the government is behind the connection of this shooter to the 9/11 Truther movement?
Well, this is the first time I actually heard about this incident at all, but it wouldn't surprise me because they're trying to pretty much say anybody who questions the official story is a terrorist. And we've seen the establishment of the Patriot Act and Military Commissions Act being used against critical thinkers. This would be something like a problem, reaction, solution dialect where they would create the problem. The solution would be going after the people who have questions about 9/11, and that's exactly what I think is happening. But I haven't heard anything about this incident.
And I do want to clarify, he has not been called a terrorist. Now, I do want to go back. You mentioned the South Poverty Law Center report. That report was put out this week, and they put you on a list of patriot groups described as non-racist hate groups. What's your reaction to this? Dissuade me that you're the threat that this report seems to be indicating you are.
I mean, you can look at our code of conduct. We always call for peace. Our weapons are truth. Our weapons are love, humanity, and dignity, and using our words and never using violence. And the defamation is not only, against We Are Change. It's against any citizen out there who wants to question their government. And it's kind of sad seeing our organization that does community work, helps out homeless people, helps out veterans, helps out 9/11 first responders being deemed and labeled with neo-Nazis and the KKK. I mean, it's just absurd and appalling that this would happen. And with this happening, it's like they're setting the framework for this incident that recently just happened at the Pentagon that I just heard of.
Luke, how do you think it does happen? I mean, you mentioned you're a nonviolent organization. I've read your website. You're devoted to social change, a social movement that is not racist, denounces violence. How do you think you even end up on this list?
I have no idea. We became a threat because we go out there and we ask politicians the hard questions that the mainstream media doesn't ask. And that's very uncomfortable for the system to have something that's not sponsored by the corporation, doesn't have any effect from the Trilateral Commission or Council on Foreign Relations or Bilderberg Group or mainstream media. And we go out there and we speak truth to power. We expose, we talk to people, we have learning seminars. It's important to understand that this is just an outright attack. It's a smear campaign, pretty much, used to pretty much denounce and destroy anybody who has critical thinking and questions the government.
Okay, well, now you're heading out this weekend to the Treason in America conference, and RT actually will be there and bring our viewers complete coverage of this event. And we just have a minute, but really quickly, just tell us what you hope to get out of this weekend.
Well, we just want people to understand there's FBI whistleblowers, there's people within this government, there's patriots, there's citizens, family members, rescue workers, survivors of 9/11 that want their questions answered. We demand truth from our government, which we have not been getting. We're not terrorists, we're not dangerous people. Our code of conduct says, again, we don't believe in any violence, we're not racist. And it's just sad that I have to stand here and defend myself when in reality our work speaks for itself, and people could see that on our website and see what we did throughout.
All right, well,
our history.
All right, well, thank you for joining me and for defending yourself. And as I mentioned, stay tuned for RT's full coverage of that conference this weekend.